Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 26th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery, wide view of things here. You can see the Hawaiian Islands, Pacific Ocean, California, there's Mexico. Tropical cyclone development may be possible with this cluster of thunderstorms here, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that for people who may have interest across Mexico over the next couple of days. But we have our own interesting weather coming here for the southwest portion of the USA. We'll take a look at those details here as we go through the video today. We'll also take a look at the extended forecast as we may turn wetter and warmer here as we go on into November. So let's jump into the visible satellite imagery. You can see some nice clear skies up and down the coastline all the way through Southern California. Marine there being shunted off the coastline there. We do have some low clouds across some of the valley areas here, and you can see that semblance of the frontal system that brought some snow for the higher terrain kind of hanging up across Southern California, maybe bringing out a little bit of light precipitation for some of the higher terrain. Nothing too crazy, but kind of cool here. You can look on the GOES 18 satellite imagery and look at that new snowfall across the highest portions of the Sierra Nevada. They're very nice on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. This is looking at a tropical cyclone formation over the next 48 hours. Put it about 60% there. And again, this could rapidly intensify again. So we'll watch it a little bit here for anybody who might have interest across some of Central America and Mexico. Some very warm water off the coastline there. Anyway, back towards the west coast here, you got Eureka, California. You got hard freeze warnings, frost advisories, freeze watches out there. Very cold air mass settling down over the region here and kind of highlighted there in the graphics from Eureka, California. Check out some of these highs on Saturday, only into the 60s here for the valley areas. Look at Bakersfield, 70 by the time you get towards Sunday here. And yeah, nice cool conditions. Look at Death Valley only getting up to 79 on Sunday. Pretty cold air mass moving down across the Intermountain West. I'll show you that here in a moment. Elevated fire weather conditions. We're going to have some strong north and northwest winds through Saturday, and then we're going to turn things offshore as we go on to Sunday. Very dry conditions incoming across much of the state of California, so we really got to watch out for new fire starts. And this is this day on October 26, 2003. Check out the Santa Ana winds and the fires associated across Southern California. San Diego would be there. There's the Mexico-California border. Los Angeles is in here. Look at all this smoke being produced with these fires, so it can still get crazy. With regards to fires here across much of the state. So yeah, we got to do our due diligence and make sure we're not starting or adding to this fire potential as humans. Now, taking a look at the European, what's going on here is this Arctic air mass. You can kind of see by this high pressure here showing up in the red. Look at this, just sag south across the Great Basin here. And this is going to bring those powerful offshore winds that are going to rip through the canyons, the valleys, and through the Sierra Nevada over the next couple days, mainly starting Sunday for the big winds here. We'll look at the timing on that for the most part here coming up in a minute. But you can see the high pressure moving down across the lower 48 states. It's going to move all the way down across Texas and Gulf of Mexico there as well. Now, taking a look at the winds associated. Now we're looking at the state of California. Got Nevada right there. There's a California-New Mexico border. We put this into motion. You can see some of these stronger winds coming up on the coastline here out of the north and northwest. You can see them impacting areas mainly west of Santa Barbara. There, the sundowner winds kind of coming out of the northwest there. And you can see them coming out of the northwest all the way through about Saturday evening. Then we start to turn things offshore. First across the northern Sierra Nevada, some powerful gusts coming, especially for the higher terrain. You can see the offshore winds across the Bay Area here as well. And then look at these winds start to rip through Southern California. And these powerful northerly winds coming across southern Nevada and the desert areas here as well as we go through the day Sunday. So this is really going to be the high fire danger here. You can see these winds just ripping all the way out across the coastal areas here. We'll look at some of the estimated wind gusts here in the models in a moment. This is a little bit closer here. 100-meter wind speeds here on the European. Last night's run put it into motion, and you can see some of these big winds coming down the coastline as you go through the day Saturday there out over the open water as well, coming down off some of the higher terrain near Santa Barbara County. And then we turn things offshore. Look at these winds just start sweeping through the canyons and the valleys and the gaps down through the deserts, powerful north wind as well. So yeah, Santa Ana winds are going to be rolling in through here. Big peak time will be on Sunday. This is accumulated 10-meter max wind gusts. We put this into motion. You can see some of these winds coming down the coastline, but look at these winds as we go through Saturday on in through Saturday night here across some of the northern Sierra Nevada. Some big gusts up over 60 miles per hour. And these are going to be offshore winds here. And then you can see this extend down across Southern California as well. Again, possibly 60 plus miles per hour through some of the canyon areas there, and big gusts up over 50 for some of the desert areas as well. Now, this is looking at 2-meter temperature anomaly, kind of showing you how cold this air mass is. So as we go on in through this weekend, look at across Nevada and some of the Sierra Nevada is well below normal. Some places 20 plus degrees or more below average. And you can see that settle down across the region. So this is Sunday, late morning here, and you can clearly see how much cold air, and that's what's driving this high pressure here, this very cold Arctic air pushing out across the coastal areas. You notice we do warm up some as this wind compresses and dries out once it gets towards the coastal regions here, but not as much as normally would if this, the source region, the source air mass here is very chilly here. So even though it's going to be warming up quite a bit, it's still not going to be hot by Santa Ana wind standards all the way out to the coastal areas there. So you can, really nice diagram there and just how chilly that air is moving down over the Intermountain West. Now this is looking at 5,000 feet. And you can see this as we go on and through the weekend, this very cold air dropping down across Nevada. This would be Saturday night here. And this is, again, kind of the marker of that high pressure. It's going to be flowing offshore through a lot of California here and bringing very dry air with it. This is looking at dew point temperature. So I want to show you how much we're going to dry off here. You can see like Los Angeles, dew point 55, San Diego somewhere in the low 50s there as well. So let's just scroll ahead here. And as we go on in through Friday, watch this dry air come down across the region. There you can see it settling down across Nevada here. And then we start to get the outflow winds during the day Sunday. And look at some of these dew point temperatures. You'd have to cool the air down to -5 Fahrenheit just to get it to condense again. So you can see just how dry we're going to be across the entire state of California, Nevada, western Arizona, going to dry out quite nicely, like places like Utah as well, with that very cold air mass setting up shop. And this is peak wind gusts here as we go through Saturday coming up. This does not include the Santa Ana winds at this point. So you can see the gusty winds off to the west of Santa Barbara, Santa Ynez Mountains out there as well, Catalina Islands. And as we look at minimum relative humidity, Los Angeles National Weather Service now picking up on just how dry some of this air is going to be. And this is Sunday through Monday. This does include what the Santa Ana winds here would bring. So very dry conditions incoming. Now taking a look at the extended forecast a little bit here. We've got the Arctic air mass kind of dropping down across the region. You see the Arctic front out there across Colorado kind of dropping south. No precipitation in sight, but then you can kind of see the pattern change as we get towards November 1st. And this system showing up here on the most recent GFS could bring some interesting precipitation and some nice snowfall for the Sierra Nevada. We'll watch that one closely. And then some additional frontal systems trying to reach towards the west coast as we go through about November 4th, 5th time frame there. So something fantasy right now, but it does look like this pattern change is going to be coming, and we'll just kind of watch to see how far south this storm track is going to sag on this next round. Here's the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. This was issued yesterday, but you can see the return to some above average conditions here for much of the West Coast. Precipitation, how much of California and Nevada will this include? Good questions. We will continue to watch this over the next few days. So anyway, yeah, interesting Santa Ana wind event coming up here. And once the high resolution models get in range, which should be probably later today, like the NAM 3KM, we'll be able to start to see some of those wind gusts that it starts predicting and just see how strong this event is going to be. So we'll have more information coming in as we go on in through tomorrow. But anyway, channel's doing great. Thanks for all my new members. Thanks for all my new subscribers and everybody who comes and checks back. I'm going to be doing a weather station giveaway on the California Weather Watch channel as soon as I can get a live video up at maybe today. So heads up for that. Hopefully you can join, and I look forward to giving that away. I'll be giving away some coffee mugs here as well. And yeah, so leave some comments below. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.